Hi, good morning, y'all. This is Terra Jackson. I am a speaker. I am a transformational coach. I am an addiction and recovery expert. I assist women who have experienced childhood trauma into shaping and shifting their perspective surrounding their trauma and allowing them to tap back into their own power, allowing them to transform their own lives from the inside out, helping them to see how their story will empower them or destroy them, and that they have the choice. Welcome to 15 Minutes of Healing. This morning, if you are not following me already, please follow me on Instagram, Speaker Terra Jackson, as well as Facebook. I am also on Instagram and Facebook as Respect the Queen LLC. If you have not joined the Wounded Healer community, it is a community in which those of us who are still healing from our wounds, but also progressing and becoming productive in our current day lives. It is a community of women who are assisting one another in the healing process. The community lies on www.respectthequeen.com. Please join the community as well as subscribe to terrajackson.com, in which you can catch updates on where I'm at, where I'm speaking, how to book me for speaking engagements, as well as contract my services. I do a lot of work from a professional and personal development side. If you have not purchased my book, or you know someone who is in dire need of my book, Single in the City is the ultimate guide for entrepreneurship for single mothers. You can purchase that book on CreateSpace or Amazon. Good morning, good morning, good morning. How are y'all doing this morning? Good morning, Cheryl. Good morning, Kimberly. Good morning, Anthony. I am not live Facebook today because I got a snotty nose and runny eyes. This changing weather is doing it to me, baby. I'm sure that y'all are experiencing it in your neck of the woods or whatever. This weather, that's a whole nother conversation. I wanted to share with y'all this morning. You do not heal by releasing. You heal by releasing. You do not heal by suppressing. Last night I cried. Well, not last night, but yesterday afternoon I cried, and I hadn't cried for a long time. And the breakthrough moment for me was, you heal by releasing. The tears that we shed are cleansing. It clears us of any sort of uncomfortability, any sort of pain, any sort of frustration, any sort of stress or worry. And unfortunately, some of us have taken on this role that is defined by strength and how you get through life situations. Good morning, Rochelle. Good morning, Tina. I'm not even going to mess up your first name. I'm sorry, honey. And I'm sure that the mothers that are on the podcast, this audio cast this morning, can identify with being a mom and being a wife and being a helpmate and, being an employee, being an entrepreneur, whatever it is that you have, you have been assigned this specific role in your life. When things happen in your life, you don't necessarily have the opportunity to really process exactly how you feel. You're kind of scurrying on to the next challenge in life, to the next errand that you have to run, to the next PTA meeting that you have to go to the next business meeting that you have to go to. So if you can identify with scurrying past your feelings in order to conquer the next task in life, hit me with a thumbs up, because I can't necessarily connect with y'all the same way when I'm not on the screen with the audio cast. So if you can identify with not truly being allowed or giving yourself the time to process how you feel about life on terms when situations arise, hit me with a thumbs up. I'm sure that you can identify. I'm sure that a lot of women can identify, because especially as Black women, we are expected to shoulder the weight of the world and be strong. And this year, 2018, I want to assist y'all in redefining what it means to be strong. I want to assist my goddamn self in redefining what it means to be strong, because what it means to be strong typically is suppressing your emotions, suppressing your feelings, suppressing what it is that you have going on in life that makes you feel uncomfortable, that makes you feel worried and stressed and doubtful. And we suppress these things, and then when life shows up, it's like all of these things end up taking us off our square because we have been suppressing. And what I realized yesterday is that the only vulnerable space that I have in my life, in order to just completely be transparent without any sort of guard there, is in my counselor's office. I cry every goddamn session. It's a release. It's a release. And so what I took from that yesterday is that you don't have to wait every 7 days until you see your counselor to release. You have to release every day. You have to feel what you feel every day. It doesn't mean that you have to act out. It doesn't mean that you have to be petty. It doesn't mean that you have to start drama. It doesn't mean that you have to cause beef with somebody. It doesn't mean that you have to argue with your mate. It doesn't even mean that you have to sabotage yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to ridicule yourself. It doesn't mean that you have to beat yourself up. But what it does mean is that you have to feel. Can y'all identify? You have to feel. You have to feel whatever it is that you are facing in this moment in life. And for me, it was mistreatment of others, including myself. And for the sake of honing a public appearance, I didn't allow myself to completely feel all the way through, completely process all the way through. Because I'm a person and I believe in learning lessons, I keyed into the lesson. What is the lesson here, God? What is the lesson here, God? Reveal to me, God. Have you ever been in a place in your life where you are trusting God to reveal to you the things that need to be revealed to you, but in the process, you're hurting? You're trusting God to reveal the things that need to be revealed to you, but in the process, you feel pain. And having to trust that God is closing a door and feeling pain at the same time sometimes can leave you in disarray. If you haven't allowed yourself to process that all the way through. So yes, God is saying whatever God is saying to you, but it doesn't eliminate you from having to feel, having to heal, and not suppressing what it is that you are feeling in that moment. And identifying what is correct about what it is that you feel. Because sometimes we feel things and in our perspective is jaded or shady based on previous experience. So getting clear, whatever your spiritual practices are, allowing yourself to get clear so that you can truly see what is transpiring. And yesterday I realized that I did not acknowledge I was hurt. And when you do not acknowledge that you are hurt, it allows it to fester in the dark. It allows it to create a monster that was never there because you're not addressing the dark. You're not addressing the hurt. You're not addressing the pain. You're not addressing the betrayal. You're not addressing the disappointment and the disgust. And I didn't say it. I said everything else that I felt. I processed everything else that I was feeling, but I would not acknowledge I was hurt. For sake of being strong, please redefine what it means to be strong. I'm quite sure that a lot of y'all have been characterized as the strong person in your tribe of women that you hang out with, your sister friends, your friend girls, your family members, your co-workers, your fellow entrepreneurs, people online see you as a source of strength. And although you allow yourself to be vulnerable, there's still a piece of you that you don't necessarily share with the online world. And I didn't share with the online world. I'm hurt. So by not sharing, without voicing out loud to my tribe, to my support system, to the social media world in which I connect with, and I didn't say, I'm hurt. That one statement that I denied myself turned into suppression, turned into it festered within my spirit, it festered within my heart, it festered within my mind, it festered within my body, it festered in how I was processing the days moving forward, because I didn't say, I'm hurt. You have to acknowledge how you feel. Good morning, Yolanda. How are you, love? I want to acknowledge the people that I do see on the line. I'm not sure if I like this audio cast because it seems like different interaction with y'all. Excuse me. And I like to connect. I want to know that you can identify, you can receive the message that is being given to you. You have to vocalize how you are feeling. Where are you at in your current moment in life? What is going on with you? If you continue to dumb that down for sake of not causing a problem in your family, not causing a problem with your friend girls, not causing a problem at work, and you let that shit fester in the night, in the still of the night, you're the one that is left in the fetal position. You're the one that is left hurting without anyone to talk to, for whatever fear is preventing you from voicing, this is how I feel. Like, this is real plain. I feel hurt. I feel disgusted and disappointed. Healing takes place by releasing. When you can verbalize what it is that you feel out loud, it reduces the power that it has over you. But if you suffer in silence, it manifests, and it manifests quietly. And what happens is you start to transfer that energy onto other individuals in your life, your helpmate, your husband, your boyfriend, your children, your co-workers, whomever it is that you touch in your life. You start transferring that negative energy onto them. You don't necessarily recognize it. You may connect with, you're not feeling too well, feeling a little frustrated, feeling a little down and out, a little stressed. Maybe I'm sleeping more often than I normally would sleep. Maybe I'm much more sluggish than I would normally be. Maybe I don't have as much drive to do the work that I do. Those type of things happen when you're not acknowledging how you truly feel, when you're suppressing how you truly feel, or where you're just at mentally and emotionally. Where am I? So that's when, self-check. I want you to, if you're on the feed with me right now, I want you to truly close your eyes and get quiet for a moment and ask yourself, where am I at? Where am I at in my life, mentally and emotionally? And I'm not talking about how well you're doing on your job, or how much your friends like you or don't like you, how well you're doing with your husband, how well your kids are behaving. I'm not talking about that. And I'm not saying that that's not a factor, but I'm not talking about that right now. Close your eyes and be still and ask yourself, how am I doing? Not how is everybody else doing. How am I doing? Truthfully and honestly, getting gut level honest, close your eyes and ask yourself, where am I at? Am I mentally okay? Am I emotionally okay? Am I spiritually okay? Because then I can check how I'm physically doing. Then I can check how I'm financially doing. Am I okay? And if the answer is not in all areas, or if the answer is just straight up no, now you got to look at, what am I suppressing? Why am I not okay? What have I been suppressing in my life that allows me not to be mentally and emotionally and spiritually okay? Because when I'm not mentally and emotionally and spiritually okay, then I'm not physically okay. Then I'm not financially okay, because those things are a direct reflection of how I'm doing mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Where are you at, sis? Where are you at, bro? Where are you at in your current day life? I don't give a shit about all of the outside entities and deities and all of that other stuff that we get to focusing on. How are you? Take off the mask. I'm not talking about you as a mom. I'm not talking about you as a sister. I'm not talking about you as an employee. I'm not talking about you as a wife or you as a husband. How are you? Self-check. Where am I at? And if I'm not where I want to be in life, what's the next step? For me, the next step is honoring where I'm at, verbalizing where I'm at, reducing the power that it has over me because I refuse to speak clearly about where I'm at. We ain't dancing around it. If you ain't okay, you just ain't okay. And it's okay to say that. You don't have to minimize how you feel. You don't have to justify how you feel. You don't have to rationalize how you feel in order to make sure that everybody else is okay. You can't live your life managing the outcome or the feelings of everybody else. We need to focus on self. And that's what I walked away with yesterday. Once I allowed myself to cry, because I needed to cry. Cry, it cleansed that energy up off of me. You heal by releasing. You don't heal by suppressing. So once I'm able to acknowledge this is where I'm at, self-check. Not about everybody else. Where you at, T? Where you at mentally? Where you at emotionally? Where you at spiritually? It's a direct reflection of where you at physically. Yesterday, I could barely stand up. My back hurt so bad. When I released that cry, that hard belly cry, I noticed about 2 hours later, the tension released off my back. Where you're at emotionally, where you're at mentally, where you're at spiritually will affect how you are physically, financially. It's a direct reflection. Where you at, acknowledge it, own it, verbalize it, get into whatever spiritual maintenance that you practice in your life, whether you have to write, whether you have to read, whether you have to cry, pray, meditate, light you some sage, get you some frankincense, whatever it is that you practice spiritually, getting in a quiet space that you can get honest about where you are and what are the steps necessary to move forward. That spiritual maintenance works different for everybody. I'm not going to tell y'all what to do or what not to do. I know what works for me. What works for me is getting quiet, getting honest, acknowledging that I have been hurt or I am hurt or whatever it is that I'm feeling, getting honest about where I'm at mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Also getting honest about, have I truly been maintaining my spirituality? Because when you're maintaining your spirituality, shit don't hit you the same way when you don't have no defense. When you're not practicing spirituality, whatever that is for you, you're not necessarily ready for that attack, whatever that attack is that is going on in your life. And it's usually just life showing up on life on terms. But when you aren't spiritually grounded, it'll hit you harder. The brick will hit you harder than it normally would if you were spiritually grounded. So getting honest about, where have I lacked discipline? Where have I fell off? If I pray and meditate every day and I haven't been praying and meditating for the last 7 days, then guess what? You're a little bit more vulnerable for whatever it is that's, you're facing in your life. The attack is it's a little bit more detrimental than it would be if you were spiritually grounded. Good morning to Kierna. Good morning, Stacy. So I want to encourage y'all to get quiet, to get honest, to accept the fact that you will not heal, you will not conquer, you will not get over whatever it is that is going on in your life today by suppressing a certain level of honesty, gut level honesty, preferably, a level of accountability. You do not heal by suppressing. You do not heal by suppressing. You do not heal by suppressing. Suppression only causes you to suffer longer. Suppression only puts you in a position of not being able to let go. Suppression only allows for, suppression only allows for the, okay, I'm losing my connection, y'all. I'm sorry. There we go. I'm sorry, y'all, lost my connection. Suppressing your feelings only allows for them to manifest. And when they manifest, they start spilling over into the other areas of your life. It's called transferring of energy. Whatever it is that will continue to spill. Okay, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and end. I don't want to end abruptly, but my connection. Yeah, I'm losing my connection. 15 minutes of healing live. I love y'all to life.